android has a cancer. The cancer is crime.
We need a self-sufficient law enforcement robot.
How long will it take?
We can go to prototype within 90 days.
Where are you from?
Metro South.
Welcome to hell.
All units, sector 9.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
You're gonna be a bad mother.
Half man,
This guy is really good.
half machine,
Robocop. What is he?
He's a cyborg, you idiot.
all hero.
What are your prime directives?
Protect the innocent. Let the woman go, or there will be trouble. Uphold the law. You are under arrest.
What is this shit?
Justice gets an upgrade.
Looking for me? Your move, creep.
Robocop.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
Get up. Hang on. Bloody MGM trailers. Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek. And welcome to Magnificent Mondays. This week, this is what we're on. Number 30. This week we're doing Robocop, as you may have guessed from that trailer. And Windgrace is here already saying, I am the law. Oh, never mind. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. And Sci-Fi Quest is here. Yes, I now have 10 seconds to comply to get out of that trailer. Which caught me unawares. I was picking up my Blu-ray. So we're doing Robocop. There we go. The Robocop trilogy. Do not buy this on Blu-ray. It's crap. No special features whatsoever. I could have sworn I had the Blu-ray with loads of special features on. Maybe it's the DVD. I don't know. But the Blu-ray, this one anyway, that's got the trilogy. Sod all. Anyway. So I'm a bit miffed about that. My hair's going mental. Anyway. Right, Robocop. 1987's Robocop. Not the bloody awful, whenever it came out. The recent remake, whenever that was. The original, which has become a classic, directed by Paul Verhoeven, starring Peter Weller, Nancy, what's her face? Nancy Allen, yes, I think. And who else? Kurtwood Smith, Ronnie Cox, Dan O'Hurley, and Miguel Ferrer, and a few others dotted about here and there. Yeah, the budget of only, I mean, I was surprised it was this low, to be honest, considering the amount of effects work and stuff in it, of $13.7 million, which even in 1987 wasn't a huge amount. I think like Return of the Jedi from 1984, 83, I mean. I think that had like a $30 million budget, didn't it? Anyway, obviously it recouped that many times over. It was a huge success. Great score from Basil Polidouris. Great makeup effects, I suppose you could call it. The suit, designed by Rob Bottin, who brought us The Howling and The Thing and other stuff. But he did Robocop's suit, as well as the melty Emil that we'll see later. All the gruesome, gooey effects. That's what Rob Bottin's good at. But he also did the suit. Speaking of the suit, earlier on, you now have 5 seconds to hit like. Why did they sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger then? I don't know. When Winggrace says, I am the law, never mind. Curiously enough, hang on, where have I put it? I've got it in the wrong window. There we go. Curiously enough, the original design for Robocop looked a lot like this fella. Hang on, where am I? Him. There we go. Just Judge Dredd, innit? They just stuck Judge Dredd's head on Robocop's body. Well, it's not even Robocop's body yet, is it? It's an early design. Obviously, they would never have got away with that, but that was an early design for Robocop. Just Judge Dredd. Unbelievable. But anyway, luckily they changed it. Right, so anyway, before we start, don't forget, hit like, as Sci-Fi Quest says, subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Join us in the chat because we are live. We're live on YouTube. I'll best double check. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch, but I do. What else? Later on, I'll upload it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Links in the description, as are links with 2 books, Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action-adventure about UFOs and stuff. Look, and it's got words in it, look. And, hang on, I forgot to pick them both up at once. Come here. And Silent Predator, a short horror novella. See, one's thick and one's thin. A short horror novella about big cats eating people in North Yorkshire. It's all a bit of fun. Yes, I do Twitch just for Archmage Frey. Yes. That's the only reason I do Twitch. Just so Archmage Frey can watch it. The mysterious man from Twitch who's never in the same room as Wingrace. Anyway, curiously. Right, so, where were we? Right, so I forgot what I was saying now. And Josh Temple's arrived, yeah. I hope he's got his harpoon ready to take on these bad guys in old Detroit. Because I think that's what they need, a harpoon up the jacksie. Right, so, we're going to watch this film. Oh, we're not going to watch it. We're going to watch it in a series of stills. And I'll try and remember the things I know about it. It's not a huge amount, but we'll get there. What else? I may play the odd snippet here and there, but I can't play the full film, obviously, because we'll get into trouble. We'll get into trouble. Right, so off we go. Let me get this up and get it full screened, and then we may begin. If I press the button properly, make myself titchy tiny in the corner, down there. Oh, hang on, I better change me frame, hadn't I? Because it cuts the subtitles off, and some of my guests like to see the subtitles. So there we go. There we go. Right. Wingrace says, watched an SGA, which is Stargate Atlantis, where they captured Shepard with a double harpoon gun. Can't remember that one. And yes, Josh is here, saying hello to everybody. Right, anyway, so off we go. There we go. So we're off. We're off and running. Oh, forgot to mute it. There we go. Good old Metro with Mayor logo, now owned by Amazon. And, remember that one, Orion. Come on. There we go. They went out of business, didn't they? Anyway, so off we go. Robocop. By the way, I forgot to mention, didn't I? It was written by Edward Newmeyer and Michael Miner. Edward Newmeyer will go on with Paul Verhoeven to do Starship Troopers. And I did mention Basil Polidorus' amazing score. That one. So anyway, so off we go. It's supposed to be set in Detroit, specifically old Detroit, in the year 2029. It starts off in 2029, apparently, and then ticks over to 2030. So, because we see like Christmas and New Year and all that. Anyway, right, hang on. Wingrace is saying something. He was running through the gate, and they shot him in the back and yanked him back. That won't work, will it? Unless, do you mean before he got through the gate? I'm guessing you mean, because he wouldn't be able to. If somebody shoots you with a harpoon through the gate, could you be pulled back? If you get to the other side, I suppose you could just shut off the gate and it'd cut off the rope or whatever, the harpoon. But anyway, we're not talking about Stargate. Anyway, I can't remember that one. Yeah, he was at the Event Horizon before he went through. All right. I can't remember that one. I've seen all Stargate Atlantis as well, and I can't remember that one. Anyway, right, off we go. We're in old Detroit. We begin with media break. Here they are. Give us 3 minutes and we'll give you the world. With Casey Wong and Jess Perkins, there they are. It's Mario Machado and Lisa Gibbons, whose husband would briefly appear in Robocop 2. Her husband being Christopher Quinton. I think their marriage was equally as brief. Anyway, so we see these little news snippets in the film. By the way, it's a satire. The film's a satire. It's an action film. It's also a satire of corporatism and, you know, the world gone mad and stuff like that, and crime and all that. So here we're learning that South Africa, something's happening in South Africa. We learn that Pretoria, which is the capital of South Africa, has become a city-state. They've got a French-made neutron bomb. So they threatened to set it off. And the Star Wars orbiting... No, this is something else, isn't it? Is it? No, later on they mentioned the Star Wars orbiting peace platform. This is just like a space station thing. I don't know, whatever. The vice president's... the president's visiting and they have a power cut, and so they float about. I don't know why a power cut would make them float about. They must have electronic gravity somehow. But anyway, then we cut to a commercial for Hearts, the Family Heart Centre, and artificial hearts. Yamaha, you choose the heart. But remember, we care. Then we learned that a lot of police officers are dying in old Detroit because OCP has been tendered by the city to run the police department, and people are saying they're not doing it very well, or the police officers are saying they're not doing it very well because lots of police are dying, but there is a reason for that. And here's Dick Jones, played by Ronnie Cox. Is this the first time he's played a baddie in a film? I don't know. He usually played like all good guys and stuff. Until this. And then he carry on playing he played a bad guy in Total Recall, didn't he, as well? Anyway, where are we? No rubber nuclear weapons like in Red Dwarf. No, none of them. Where were we? As long as part of your body is not in the event horizon. Yep. But this is, if you're halfway out, I'm going back to Stargate again. If you're halfway out of the event horizon, could you be pulled back? I don't know. Because we've seen people stick their arm in the event horizon of a Stargate to keep it open. To keep the gate open, but we don't see their arms sticking through at the other side, do we? I don't know, because it doesn't send you until you're all in, does it? As one unit, it doesn't send you, so I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Right, where were we? Ronnie Cox is here, being tough. He's the second in command at OCP, and he was learning that Frank Fredrickson has been injured by Clarence Bodicker. There he is, the unofficial crime boss of old Detroit. Great subtitle in there. I've been through this subtitle file and I thought I corrected everything. Obviously not. Never mind. Where were we? So we know that Clarence Bodicker is the... I've been through this file. Why is it still saying that? Why has it still got them in? Unbelievable. Anyway, never mind. Right, so here we are. We're at the Metro... I forgot what it said. Hang on, does it say here? Good luck, Frank. I can't remember which Metro they're at. Is it Metro West? Does it say? No, it doesn't say. Never mind. Oh, this Metro. Yes, Metro West. In Detroit. It was actually filmed in Dallas, mostly, with some bits in California, I think, somewhere, and is it Pittsburgh or Philadelphia? I can't remember. Filming. Pittsburgh. Additional filming in Las Colinas. I don't know. Where's that? Oh, that's probably where they filmed where Murphy goes back to his house. Remember that scene? And Pittsburgh, God knows. God knows what part of the film in Pittsburgh. But anyway. I think we're still on about Stargate. Yes, I've just said that. It doesn't send you until you're fully in. As long as they don't turn it off when your half your head is still inside. F in the chat for Kowalski. Yes. Poor Kowalski. Can you do that, Dad? Don't be silly, son. I'm a real cop. But he can. He can. Anyway, so we're at Metro West. This is Sergeant Reed He's in charge of Metro West. Doesn't seem to be like a lieutenant or a captain or anything here, does there? Although he does say, I take my orders from... And he's about to say something when Robocop comes in later. Is he going to say captain someday or commissioner? I don't know. But anyway, we never learn. He seems to be in charge. Here he's throwing somebody out that's been, attempted murder and all that. So they're going up against the judges. They're not holding him in the cells. He's not being held on remand or anything. They're just kicking him out. Anyway, Murphy arrives. He says, just transferred him from Metro South. So, he's come from a nice precinct to a bad one. Man, mate. Here he's going to the changing rooms. Omni Consumer Products. What a bunch of morons. And you see this fella with his... he's wanting to strike. Where we're learning that they can't get medical aid and stuff like that until, when they get injured and stuff, because it takes ages to arrive. But this is all the doing of OCP, particularly Bob Morton and his Robocop program. They're putting officers in dangerous situations deliberately because they want participants for their research. Anyway, I wonder how many they've used, how many policemen they've gone through. Like we see in Robocop 2, where we see all the different versions of Robocop 2 that all go wrong. I wonder if there were different versions of the original Robocop that we just don't see. Perhaps so, perhaps so. Anyway. It's where we learn Fredrickson's passed away. Frank, or whatever his bloody name was. He's died. So here we see Cecil. In Britain we call him Cecil, but in America you call him Cecil. He's in the game, the Rogue City game, but he looks nothing like that. So obviously maybe the actor or whatever for his likeness to be used, because he looks nothing like him. But here we learn Fredrickson's died, so, the funeral is sometime. So here we go. And he was saying, I don't know his name, but he was saying, they should strike. And then Reed says, don't any more talk about strikes. We're not plumbers, we're police officers. And police officers don't strike. There we go. And it says Murphy front and centre, so Murphy gets ready. And out he comes. This is where we meet Lewis. Beating up somebody she's brought in after he tries to escape. She punches him in the face again because she's tough, but she's got lovely nails, as we'll see in a bit. Anyway, so here she is. And apparently when she got this role, they originally wanted Stephanie Zimbalist, of all people, for this role. But I don't know if she didn't want to do it or she couldn't do it or whatever. So they decided to go with Nancy Allen, who was known for her long, flowing, strawberry blonde hair. I think we've previously seen her in Carrie and other stuff. Was she in the Philadelphia Experiment? I think that was before this. Could be wrong. And she was in Poltergeist 3, wasn't she? She was in that as well. I think, was that before this or after? Don't know. Probably after. Anyway, she went over her long flowing locks, and as soon as Paul Verhoeven saw her, he said, cut your hair. So she did. Bless her. Anyway, so here she is. Meeting Murphy. Did I say his name? Alex Murphy, played by Paul Weller. Paul Weller's the lead singer from The Jam and the Style Council. He's shit. I hate him. But anyway. So, Alex is now partnered up with Lewis and Lewis. So, there you go. So, immediately, they're having words. She's saying, I'll drive. And he says, I usually drive when I'm breaking in a new partner. So, she blows a bubble gum at him. Like that. And then gets in. And she gets in. Bubble gum. Gum bubble popping. Why not bubble gum? Is bubble gum a trademark? But as we'll see here, she's getting in. And he sets off before she shuts the door. There we go. And we see that repeated in a bit. But the other way around. Don't know if that was deliberate. But anyway, off they go. Then we're at OCP, Omni Consumer Products. which gets a slight a logo change for Robocop 2, if I remember correctly. I think this is supposed to be the O, the C, and that must be the P. But I think in Robocop 2, I think they extend that down to the bottom. But whatever. This is where we're meeting Bob Morton, Mr. Kinney, and Johnson, no relation. Three executives at OCP. Bob Morton's the one in charge of the Robocop program at Security Concepts. Everything at OCP is called like whatever concepts. So we've got like security concepts and food concepts and stuff like that. Anyway, so they're going to a big meeting, and it's where it says that he's going to unveil Ed 209. So it's where we learn that he's been put in charge of the Ed 209 backup plan, and nobody takes it seriously. Anyway, this he calls Kinney a twerp, but little does he know Kinney's not going to be long for this world. Anyway. Probably busy filming the final season of Remington Steele. Yes, she was in that, wasn't she? Was Stephanie Zimbalist. Maybe so. That damn series, eh? It could have been, actually, yes, because it was around that time, wasn't it? Because it was the same time that they wanted Pierce Brosnan to be doing James Bond, wasn't it? And Living Daylights came out in 87, didn't it? And they couldn't get Pierce Brosnan because Remington Steele got renewed, didn't it? And so they're to go with Timothy Dalton. So, yes, you could be right. That could be the exact reason. What's that? Because I've rearranged my living room today. Cool. Cool. Oh, dear. In preparation, I hope, for the arrival of Bailey, the Beagle. Anyway, so going into the meeting. Here's Dan O'Hurley here. You may remember from, I think it was only last week, wasn't it? We saw him last week in The Last Starfighter, didn't we, as Grigg. Looks a little bit different now. And we've seen him as well in Appointment with Fear when I did Halloween 3. I think I did that. I think I've done Halloween 3 in Appointment with Fear. He played Connell Cochran, didn't he, in that? Their baddie. I'm not sure, is he a baddie in this? Is the old man a baddie? He's in the second one, pretty much. He kind of is in this, because he's a bit cold, although he comes across a bit as a lovable old duffer. But he does have a cold corporate heart to him, I suppose. But anyway. Right, so we're off. He's giving his speech. It's about his dream, about Delta City. They're going to build Delta City because construction begins in 6 months of Delta City, where old Detroit now stands. And old Detroit has a crime, a cancer. The cancer is crime, and they've got to cut it out before they employ the 2 million workers who are going to come in and breathe life into this city once again. So he hands it over to Dick, who begins his speech and talks about the OCP's use as dabbled in areas that are usually non-profit, like hospitals. Hospitals non-profit in America seem to charge a lot, don't they? And space exploration. Don't tell that to Elon Musk. But anyway, never mind. But anyway, so this is where we learn they've been contracted by the city to run local law enforcement. And this is where he unveils Ed 209. The future of law enforcement. A cop with superior firepower, as we learn, and the reflexes to use it. So in he comes. Here we see. There he is. Ed 209. Now then, is this... There's obviously the stop motion from Phil Tippett, and they've got a full-size one that like spins the top part. But let's have a look. No, this is the stop motion one, isn't it? By Phil Tippett, using his go motion technique, I suppose. It still looks jerky to me when it moves. They always say, it's supposed to be smoother and all that than what we saw from Ray Harryhausen. Ray Harryhausen's still the king. In my opinion. But anyway, here it comes. Doom, doom, doom. And then some technicians come in with a little control panel. But anyway, so they're going to do a demonstration So Mr. Kinney volunteers, or is volunteered, says that use this gun in a threatening manner. And it must be loaded because it pops up again at the end of the film. Why do they keep this loaded gun in the boardroom at all times? I don't know. But it must be loaded. So obviously Dick Jones isn't very upset when he gets a loaded gun pointed at him. But anyway, pointed at Ed 209. So he does. So he points at Ed 209, who reacts instantly. Says, put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply. Anyway. Bailey will be there tomorrow. Keeps changing, but this time he will be, I hope. My once minimal home now needs furniture. Anyway, so he's told to put the weapon down, which he does, and we see him. He throws it onto the floor. Anyway, for God's sake. There we go. Throws it on the floor. And it does make a loud bang, as it not going off, but a clatter as it hits the floor. And I think in the book, it says that he didn't hear it because it landed on the carpet. It does mention it. There is some dialogue in this way. It says, it didn't hear it drop. And I think in the book, because I've got the book, I think it says, it didn't pick up the sound of it hitting the carpet. But it does make a loud noise as it hits it. But obviously, it's rubbish, is Ed 209. So it says, you now have 15 seconds to comply. So everybody starts panicking. Ah! There we go. They start trying to faff about with the control board. Well, I've just noticed that. I've not really paid any attention to the top of Ed 209 there. I always just assumed this went all the way back, and it doesn't look. There you go. It's obviously nuclear powered. Look, hang on, where are we? See, give off there. Look, little nuclear powered things there. So he's panicking. He's running about. This is where we see the famous death of Mr. Kinney. There we go. We won't linger on it, so I'll get into trouble. They pull the. This is the extended version, by the way, but it goes on a bit longer. So there we go. Let's see what's poor Mr. Kinney. Oh dear. And eventually, Ed 209 stops. Is it because they pulled the cables out or what? I don't know. Or did it just malfunction and turn off? Don't know. We'll say they pulled the cables out. As if some random person could handle a Desert Eagle 50. Must be the 45 version. Oh dear. I love Ed 209. Yeah, it's cool. Cool as Ed 209. But not very good with stairs and manholes, open manholes. But that's in the second one. Anyway, the old man's very disappointed. You see, poor Kinney's lying dead. And somebody says, I think it's Bob Morton says, somebody call a paramedic. I think it's a bit late for that, mate. But anyway. So they're all screaming and stuff. And go, he didn't hear it. Didn't hear the gun hit the floor. As I said, in the book, I think it says because of the soft carpeting. But the old man, who would never learn his name, I don't think, says he's very disappointed. And Dick Jones says it's just a glitch, temporary setback. Says, you call this a glitch? But he's more bothered about the insurance payments. It could cost us 50 million in insurance payments alone, or something like that. But then Bob Morton sees his opportunity and dives in. It says, I've got my thing at Security Concepts going just as a contingency for this, and we can have a prototype in 90 days, and all that. So he says, because Dick Jones tries to cut him off, but the old man says, we've got to hear him out. And so it's what we need, a fresh perspective. So he says, we're ready to go. So Dick Jones is not happy. He's been usurped by Bob Morton in regard to this thing. Not as number 2, but anyway. And Ed has a Wi-Fi capability in Robocop 3. Was it 3 or the series? I've no idea. Although in 3, he gets Ed 209 gets hacked by that little girl, doesn't it? Makes him, what is it? Tame as a kitten or something like that. Bloody crap film. Anyway. Directed by Fred Decker, who would go on, like a producing role in Star Trek Enterprise. Anyway. Right, so there we go. So he thinks he's on the up now, is Bob Morton, but Johnson tells him, watch out, Jones will be gunning for you. And then he says, too bad about Kinney. Says, life in the big city. Now then, I don't know what part of this is real. I don't know. I'm guessing there's matte paintings here, and I'm thinking that the elevator and the stairs might be the only real parts. This, that, maybe that, and that bit there, and the elevator. All that round there is probably a matte painting. Probably. I'm sure I've seen a really good documentary. It must be on my DVDs in the making of that told me all this. But it were a long time ago. Right, here he is, practising. Practising his spinning thing. Is there a term for that, spinning your gun? Is there a proper word for it? I don't know. It's all real to me. Of course it's all real. It is in some universe anyway, if you believe the many worlds theory. But anyway, it's all real. Right, so he's practising his spinning. This is where we learn. He does it for his kid, because his kid watches this show called TJ Laser. Is it TJ Hooker's grandson or something? A spin-off. TJ Laser, and he does that. I don't know why I'm doing it here, but you can't see. You can see my arm going like that. He does this spinning before he holsters his gun, after he takes down a bad guy. So he does it for his son, and he gets a kick out of it. So anyway, then they get a call. All units. So they're off on the trail of Clarence Bodicker and his gang, and here we are. This is where we learn that whoever blew the safe, wherever they've stolen his money from, has burnt all the money, and Clarence Bodicker's not happy. You had to blow the door. What do you want? He says, it's as good as marked. Because he's a stupid a-hole. Then we learn they've got a cop on the tail. By the way, it's where we meet the gang. We've got Clarence Bodicker. I can't remember the bloody names now. Hang on, I'll have to look. I think that's Leon there. Right, I'll go down the list. Right, where are we? No, Leon's Ray Wise as Leon. Paul McCrane is there at the front, driving the bus. He's Emil. That's Joe Cox. That's Jesse D. Goins. I think they're the main ones, aren't they? I think, I don't know who Bobby plays Bobby. Is it Bobby? I think it's Bobby, isn't it? But he doesn't last long. Is he in the list? I'm looking down the what's his face? Can't see it. Never mind. That's weird. Never mind. Anyway, whatever. Right. List your Prime Directive. Said blah, blah, blah. It's like subscribe if you already have. Oh dear. Don't take me out of the film. Yes, Sci-Fi Quest. Wise from Star Trek. Sorry, required to say that. Yes, he's in Star Trek as well. Ray Wise. He's been in everything, hasn't he? Has he been in Stargate? Or am I thinking of that other fella? No, I'm thinking of that other fella. Anyway, so they've got a cop on the tail, and this is obviously it's Murphy and Lewis going down this oddly deserted road. no other cars driving on it. In this, big American city. It's supposed to be Detroit, Motor City, but they're on a deserted road. Who cares? So they're going to shoot him, so they're getting ready. By the way, backup's unavailable. So here we go. Murphy's ready. They throw open the doors and start shooting, but they're not there. They're pulling up at the side, so he's shooting, and he's not hitting any of them. Although he does hit Bobby in a minute. Is he going to do it now? There we go. He shot Bobby in the leg. Is it Bobby or Billy? I can't remember. Leon pick him up. So we're going to learn his name now. Bobby. It's Bobby. So he says, "Can you fly, Bobby?" "Of course not." So they throw Bobby onto the front of the car, and because it's a woman driving, she can't handle it, so she skids the car out of control. Bobby's doing a good job of hanging on there, isn't he? But it allows them to escape briefly. They just throw off. Bobby rolls off, whatever, and they drive off. Anyway, they're at the steel mill. which we come back to later. There you go, they found the van, so they're going in. And we learn that backup's still unavailable, but they decide to go in. And he says to Murphy says to Lewis, "It's your call." So we're up to it. He left it up to her. Do they go in or do they wait for backup? Left it to a woman, and she says, "Let's go in." So it's all her fault what happens next. South Africa says, "You burnt the damn money." No, 6,000 SUX for anyone now. They get one later on, don't they? 2 of them. Remember, the 6,000 SUX designed by the same fellow that designed the Star car in last week's Last Starfighter. It was great to say it was an underrated show, Reaper. Yes, I used to watch Reaper. I don't think I saw the last season, though. I don't think I did. Don't know why I didn't see it. But, yes, it was good as the devil in that, wasn't it? Anyway. So, in they go, without backup. She's going up a ladder, he's going some stairs. Why'd they split up? Don't know. Not very good cops, are they, if you ask me? But anyway, she comes across Joe, who's having a wee. There he is, having a wee. And she pops a bubble gum and makes his wee stop, like that. Very good bladder control, hasn't he? But there you go, she's saying freeze. And he turns round and says, "Mind if I zip this up?" And she can't resist a look at the D, can she? As we see. You ready? She can't resist it. No, for God's sake. "Mind if I zip this up?" And that's long. And she got to have a glance there. She can't help it. And he knocks her gun out of her hand and punches her. And she's out cold. She goes off. She falls off. Where are we? There you go. She lands there. Like that. And she's out cold for a brief time. Stop bloody playing. So that's Lewis out of the picture for the time being. Meanwhile, Murphy finds Emil and some other bloke who wasn't in the van. He must have been waiting there for him. I didn't see him in the van anyway. This fella looks like, I don't know, it looks like somebody's granddad or whatever, doesn't it? Or somebody's uncle in his comfy jumper. But anyway, they're all watching this show, and I've forgotten what it's called. I've seen somewhere that it's got a name as this show, but it's got the fella called Bixby. Oh, I forgot his name. I forgot his name already. Bixby something or other. Where are we? Where is it? It's here somewhere. Bixby Snyder, played by S.D. Nemeth. And for some reason, everybody finds it hilarious. There we go. He's got a cake shaped like boobs, and there you go. He does that. And they're all laughing. I'd buy that for $1 and all that stuff. But Murphy interrupts their viewing pleasure. Says, "Don't move." And one of them, there we go. He gets up with his shotgun. So Murphy takes care of him, but Emil knows better. Puts his gun down. "Dead or alive, you're coming with me." Plot point. That's what Murphy says to him. Then Lewis comes to. He's calling on the walkie-talkie. So I presume she's, groggy and making her way, because it takes her a while to get there. But then Murphy gets cut off by all the other members of the gang. There you go, he's surrounded. So little does he know, he's not long for this world now, or is he? But anyway. Emil says, "Your ass is mine." Carl says, "No, not yet, it isn't." Or it ain't, sorry. So this is where they have a little bit of banter. Back and forth. "You're some kind of good cop, hotshot. You gotta be a great cop. Come in here all by yourself." That's where's your partner. And then Joe comes, says, "The other one was upstairs. I took her out. She was sweet." That's what he says. Anyway, so they get Murphy on his knees. You go, "Bet that really pisses you off." He says, "You probably think I'm not a nice guy." "Buddy, I think you're slime." So anyway, so this is where we get the famous shoots his hand off scene. The body armour is amazing in this. Are you being sarcastic or what? I don't know, but because it doesn't seem to be doing much good here, does it? But he's been shot repeatedly, I suppose, at close range. Anyway, cops don't like him, so he doesn't like cops. Does the famous scene where he had his hand was down there, and then, but miraculously, a couple of seconds later, it's up in that angle. But never mind. There we go. We're going to see his fake hand explode. There we go. So he's had his hand blown off, so he's not happy about that. Give the man a hand. There we go. And then they shoot him. He gets to his feet, and then they shoot him. Repeatedly. Probably OCP took all the Kevlar out of the body armour, probably. Replaced it with like plastic or something, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, so they're all shooting him. Murphy's screaming, ah! This scene is described by Paul Verhoeven as is becoming American Jesus. That's how he describes this film, the American Jesus, with guns. Because with Murphy being Jesus, obviously. Because, like Jesus, he's got to be tortured and all that. Go through great pains. It's the passion of the Murphy. Before his crucifixion. He's been crucified before he can be resurrected. That's what Paul Verhoeven's saying. So here he is. They shoot his arm off. Luckily, they don't hit this hand, because remember, the left hand's fine. We learn. But anyway, they're shooting away. Then she arrives, too late. But then they run out of bullets. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? Oh, the wicked are there. And then, there we see one of Rob Bottin's signature heads. Remember, it looks a little bit like Arne. I know it doesn't look like Arne. It looks like Peter Weller, but it's got that, with the teeth and stuff, it looks like Arnie in Total Recall, doesn't it? So we're going to get shot in the head. Fun's over. Finishes him off. Bang. There we go. So they leave him and thinking he's dead. He's not quite dead yet, somehow. But anyway, she arrives and, saying, oh dear. But then we see her hands. Are you ready? I'm going to show her hands. I want to see her lovely. There we go. Them lovely fingernails, look. They're not the hands of a down and dirty old Detroit street cop, are they? Oh dear. Lovely manicured fingernails. Anyway, never mind. Right, the Medivac arrives finally, and they bundle him off to a hospital. Hope he's got Blue Cross. Do they really try and save his life? Really? I don't know. They seem to be, but I don't know. The hearts don't seem to be in it. But anyway, they're doing what they can, but his heart stops. But I'm sure they say we've got a flat line and all that. But I'm sure when you're listening, I'm sure you can still hear it going beep, beep, beep. So maybe that's for something else. I don't know. But anyway, he's having flashbacks. His life's flashing before his eyes, so to speak. Or the important things to him is his son and TJ Laser and all that. There we go. And then he's having his wife. He remembers his wife, and there you go. They're waving to him as he's going to work. Is this the Is it Pittsburgh? No, the Los Colinas or whatever the hell. Is that where this will film probably. But they're losing him, and so eventually he dies. I'm going to say, I think another flashback of him being shot as they're doing all that. There we go, shows him being shot. But he flatlined, so they call it, and they say time of death 6:15. But then it goes black for a little while. But then we're back, or he's back. Re-edit this scene with how to save a life. Well, they're doing the staying alive, trying to, the chest compressions. That's what you got to do, aren't you? The Bee Gees song. Anyway, so it comes back to electronic life. Hang on, where are we? Here he is. There we see his vision. We saw it. Did you notice the aspect ratio came in, and then it went to this blurry thing, and then you come and turn it, So there we go. So it goes back to 16:9. But then his vision starts to roll, so they've got to adjust something. Then it goes off again. Then he comes back on again, and then we see whoever she is. Does she have a name? I have no idea. Let's look in the credits. I have no idea if she's got a name. She does have a name, but I can't remember what it is because I've heard somebody mention. I remember somebody mentioning it in the film, I think, but I bloody can't remember her name. Let's see. Just bear with me. I'm sure she's. I can't remember her name. No, I'm not seeing it. Unless I'm thinking of one of the other films, I could be. Oh dear. Never mind. Whatever she's called. But she's quite attractive. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Karen Allen. Anyway. Right, put a grid on. There we go. Lock it down. And this is where we learn that his left arm, they can save his left arm. Hang on, go back. There we go. Can save his left arm, and Bob Morton says, I thought we'd agreed on total body prosthesis, and to lose the arm, and she's like, say, she's going like, Jesus, saying, will he remember any of this? But they know they're going to wipe his memory, but they don't do it totally, do they? But here we see Johnson. Johnson's supposed to be like the goody version of the OCP officer in all the films. But he isn't really, is it? He's still kind of cold. He's legally dead. Could do pretty much what they want. So he says, lose the arm. And so they're going to take his arm off. But they didn't in the remake, did they? He had a real hand in the remake, and they never explained why. I would think, did they do it so that he could have like a handprint, for police things? I don't know, for security. I've no idea. But anyway, so here he is coming on. Command com, load BIOS, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not seeing if there's anything interesting, because we never read these, do we? Robo-utils. Anyway. So, here we go. They're showing his arm. And for some reason, hang on, show it. He's got his four fingers and his thumb, and he's got this extra bit here, and I don't know what that's for. I don't think he's got it when we see him later. Anyway. Here we go. So he's got a strong grip and says, you're going to be a bad MFer. There you go. And then we learn it's Christmas or New Year's. I can't remember. I think it's Christmas, isn't it? Because I think they wish him Merry Christmas. Oh, no, it's Happy New Year. Just me to pick the wrong one. So it's Happy New Year. So it's now 2030. The only reason I know it's 2030, because I watched a YouTube video where I think there was like a trailer on a TV station in America. They did a trailer for it, like, the network premiere of Robocop. And they did a trailer, and they said what year it was. 2029 it started in. So it obviously rolls over to 2030. So we're going on that trailer. Anyway, I often wonder why Robocop only has one Auto 9, but Robocable, Maurice Dean Wint in Robocop Meltdown, had two. Obviously an upgrade, wasn't it? It should be Christmas to complete the Christ allegory. Yes. Kind of reborn at Christmas. Anyway, she kisses him on his face, on his eye. For some reason. And then she falls over. She reminds me of Karen Allen for some reason. But anyway. Then he switches off and then comes back on. And they've got him in plastic because it's a big reveal. So they're going to take him out now and show him off to the world. But the old man's not there. You'd think they'd have a big presentation, wouldn't they? Like Dick Jones did with Ed 209. With the old man there and everybody. But he's not. He's just there in the factory. So they bring him... we've got his first look at him as well, by the way. On a TV screen. Come on, show us. As he walks by. We can hear him thumping by. There he is. His first reveal of Robocop. So anyway, so they arrive at Metro West. Here they are. And I like this fella here because he's going, I'm a repeat offender. I repeat, I will offend again. I take my orders from a higher source. And Sergeant Reed's just saying, shut up, asshole. Does your mother know you talk like that? Very amusing. Anyway, they're bringing in Robocop and all his gear. Just get straight to work, cyborg. Yes. It's almost, this could be a Pinocchio reference as well. Because as soon as Pinocchio's born, Geppetto's bundling him off to school the next day, isn't he? The day after he's born. And in this one, we know how that ended up. And in this one, they're getting him off to work straight away. Anyway, although it's not straight, it's like it's months later, isn't it? It is, because it's 4 months later at least, because at the beginning it said 6 months, we're going to start work on Delta City. And I think they've got another meeting coming up where it's mentioned somewhere, somebody says, in 2 months we begin construction of Delta City. So 4 months have passed. So it's more than 90 days, isn't it? But never mind. There must have been delays. Anyway, so they bring him in, and Sergeant Reed wants to know what's going on. He says and Morton says it's official OCP business, so get lost. There you go. So all the cops are wondering what's going on, so they go running to see what's happening. And they're putting him in his chair, and they can track him with his little iPad. It's like something on Star Trek, isn't it? Of season of TNG, pardon me, the early seasons. But anyway, so they pop him in his chair. We learn he eats baby food to sustain his organic systems. What organic systems has he got left? Obviously, he's got his brain. Is his face real? Maybe it is, I don't know. But we learn that it's cold in Robocop 2. Somebody touches him, his wife touches it, says it's cold. So is his face real, or does it just look like Alex Murphy? But he's still got his bullet hole in his head, as we see later on. So I don't know. And he's got a digestive system that's rudimentary. So is that just keeping his brain alive? I don't know. Maybe it's like what we saw with Kane in Robocop 2. It's just his brain and his eyes. That's all that's left. Anyway. And obviously some sort of stomach for the baby food to go in. There he is. Says it tastes like baby food. Right, so they're testing out his stuff, testing his tracking, and voice stress and all that, and video playback, as he records everything he sees. We still never see Robocop ride Ed 209 like a horse. He kind of rides him in Robocop 2, doesn't he? Well, he's on his back, smashing his... oh, no, that's Robocop 2, isn't it? Not Ed 209. Never mind. Right, so this is where we learn his 3 directives: serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. Uphold, don't know why I said it like that. Uphold the law. There we go. But then we learn there's a Directive 4 that's classified. Oh, you can't see it from my head. Never mind. Is it going to show it? Directive 4. Come on, show us. It's going to show it in a minute. It will. It's going to show it now. Come on. There we go. Directive 4. Classified. Gets its own screen. There's Directive 4. But that's classified. Even Bob Morton probably doesn't know about that, because Dick Jones put Directive 4 in, and we'll learn what that is later. Anyway, he's all excited. Is Bob Morton. So then they're going to show off his shooting skills. Here we see Lewis shooting away at stuff. Better than me in the game. I'm rubbish. But then there's Robocop with his big gun. Because he's got big guns. It's a Skid Row song. So they're all going to watch him. Look at that FG. Morton's having the time of his life. Look. Shooting away. And then he spins it. And puts it in his leg. And what's the face sees that. Lewis sees that because remember she'd seen Murphy doing the same thing. So then we hear the doo-doo-doo. That's the I remember this from earlier on music, innit? Better than you. Better than you. They hit that. Yes, they're better than me. I can't hit the targets. I'm rubbish. I know I am. Right, so he's off now to. There you go. She's looking. Oh, hang on, there you go. Doo-doo-doo. So it says he needs a car, so he grabs the keys. There you go. Sergeant Reed threw some keys. Murphy snatched them out of the air. She's looks happy, doesn't she? And she looks familiar. I've seen her in something. I don't know. But anyway, so he gets a car. Go get him, boy, and he drives the car. Oh, I forgot to mention. I said Murphy set off before Lewis had got in the car. When Lewis were driving earlier on, before they got to Clarence, she set off before Murphy closed his door. I forgot to mention that earlier. Never mind. Anyway, so off he goes. Oh, he's always sparks the car as he goes up the ramp. Right, so off he goes. He's off to work. Robocop's first night. Here's the bloody show. Does it have a name? Does it say? Let's have a look in the trivia. See if it says anything in the trivia. Oh, there we go. It's Not My Problem. That's what it's called. The cheesy sitcom, It's Not My Problem. Starring, with this character, Bixby Snyder. Although there's somebody in it called Dave later, and I thought it was Dave Bixby or something. I don't know, but anyway. I can do that. Can't remember the caliber he uses. It's just a gun. It's a shooter. I'd buy that for $1. Ha ha! And hang on, let's show it. Look, he's laughing hysterically at it. Look, he's nearly weeing himself. Look, we laughed. It's not that funny, Christ. Anyway, this dodgy-looking fella comes in. Here he is with his overcoat on. Gets some magazine off the rack, and she says, "Anything else?" He says, "Yes." Empty the register in the till, and all that jazz. So she says, "Excuse me." Yes, it does. It does. And I've been playing it. If you look on me in my playlist on my channel, I've been playing it in there. I've not finished it yet. I think the Auto 9 is 9mm. I know it's triple action, so I have no idea. No idea what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about. It's all Dutch to me. So he gets his gun out. There we go. Put all the money in the bag. There you go. Empty the safe. He says, "We haven't got a safe." There's your safe. So he threatens to kill his, presume it's his wife. And so he says, "I'll open the safe." Then Robocop arrives. For some reason, everything, we hear this. Hang on, I'll show you. Hang on, we'll open it. All through this scene, we can hear. Why is that Robocop making that noise? This noise that we can hear all through this scene. Don't know. Or maybe it's the fridge or something making the noise. Maybe it needs servicing. Anyway, so he's saying F me and shooting. There we go. And shooting. And obviously the bullets are just missing. Now this fella must have an iron grip on this gun for Robocop just to do that. Let me mute it again. There you go. He must be holding that gun tight for Robocop to do that. To bend the barrel. Otherwise he'd just snatch it out of his hand, wouldn't he? But he must have a tight grip on it. Anyway. So then he tries to run off, and Robocop... has he done it yet? Hang on, let's go back again. There we go. Robocop clotheslines him, sends him into the fridge. There we go. Is he dead or just knocked out? Doesn't really matter. I presume he's calling for backup now. Somebody to come and tidy up, because he just buggers off. He don't hang around. He don't take any statements. I don't know, but It says, thank you for your cooperation. He's still saying I'd buy that for $1. Not laughing now, though, are they? So off he goes. Just leaves that crime scene now. Oh, dear. Look, no running, thug. Yes. This is South Africa's going on about guns again. Didn't know the Sten gun came in a 2.2. Hello, everyone. You've been here ages, mate. Don't need to say hello. Anyway, so he's off for his next crime. Here you see this woman. Oh, I think it's a stunt woman with a wig on. It looks like a wig anyway. She's being chased down by two ne'er-do-wells who don't want her bag. They want her. So they're going to do some naughty things with her. Now we see an advert for Delta City. And Scottish Geek guys here. Yay, howdy folks. I just watched the Robodoc mini doc series the other day. I haven't seen it. Brilliant stuff. I didn't know they used Terminator music in the original trailer for Robodoc. It happened a lot, didn't it? Reusing musics in trailers. But I haven't seen that Robodoc. I'm gonna have to try and get see it on. Is it on Amazon? Can you rent it out on Amazon? I think you can, can't you? I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. Anywho, they're chasing her. They say, we don't want her. They cut her wig hair off. And then they say, there's more hair down there. I don't know where he means, but he goes down there. The Robocop arrives. I don't think he's going this time. But they go, let the woman go. You are under arrest. And so he grabs the woman and threatens to kill her. There he is. And then Robocop targets. There you go. Targets like that. And shoots his Jimmy Riddler off. Like that. Shoots through her legs and shoots his bits and bobs. So he collapses. And then the other one surrenders. And I like this how she goes running up. She goes running up to Robocop with her legs akimbo. She said, oh, thank you. She embraces him, and he says, because he's a robot, Madam, you have suffered an emotional thingamabob. There we go, shock. I will contact the Rape Crisis Centre or notify, whatever. Right, so he leaves that crime scene now. I presume, is there a passage of time? Is he waiting for other people to arrive to tidy up after him? Or has he just left her... I don't know, but we're assuming he's dealing with it all and then moving on. Right, we're at City Hall now. The police are there and the press are there, and this is where we learn that former councilman Ron Miller has taken hostages because he was voted out and he's not happy about it and he wants his job back. So, anyway, so Robocop goes in, keep him talking. The press hound him, look. Statement, please. And as he's going in, somebody says, are you invincible? They will keep him talking. There you go. Are you invincible? What sort of question is that? Yes, madam. Anyway, so he gets on the, what do they call it? Bullhorn, whatever they're called. And, hey, Miller, don't hurt the man. I'll give you whatever you want. And then he's on about that he wants a car. He's killed somebody already. And he wants a recount, and no matter how it turns out, he wants his old job back, and he wants a bigger office with reclining leather seats. And then you're going about, he wants a car that goes really fast, it gets real shitty gas mileage. It says, how about the 6000 SUX? He says, yeah. Not quite as graphic as the bit in Piranha 3D. No, somebody gets the willy bitten off in that, though. Robocop gets you where it hurts. Yes, he does. This movie reminds me of the military short circuit robots. Do you know what? It's a long time since I've watched Short Circuit. It is. And the second one. As if Robocop will make the same mistake as Superman telling a reporter about the one thing that can hurt him. I don't think he told Superman. Oh, I don't know which Superman are we on about. The Christopher Reeve one didn't mention, kryptonite to Lois Lane because he didn't know about it, did he? But he did mention that he can't see through lead. But anyway, unless he mentioned it in one of the other Superman films. Anyway, So saying, let the mayor go, we'll even throw in a blaupunkt. And there we go. So it says, oh no, you're messing with me. So he's going to kill the mayor. That's the mayor, Your Honour. So Robocop goes to his thermograph in a minute. You know, when he's ready. Will he skip on this? Is crap. Oh, for God's sake. Is he doing it yet? Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, whatever. He goes to his thermograph and he can see through the wall and see who's where. So then when he's about to shoot the mayor, Robocop smashes through the wall and grabs hold of him, and he still could have shot the mayor. He could shoot the mayor now because he's shooting his gun, look. But then Robocop punches him out of the window and down he comes. And they see him hit the ground right by their feet, apparently. But then we see this. This is from the news. They caught it on the news. But we see him hit a crash mat, look. See him bounce back up again there. Much like we see what happens when we see Luke in Empire Strikes Back. You know, when he's in Cloud City and he jumps down. He gets away from Vader and he jumps down off the, what they call it, the freezing chamber. If you watch it, he actually bounces back up again. He must have either, I don't know. It looks like he hit a trampoline anyway. If you watch it carefully. Anyway, so Robocop's in the news now. Lisa Gibbons is looking happy about him. And so he goes to see some kids at Lee Iacocca Elementary School. And they ask him, you know, has he got a message for the children watching at home? He says, stay out of trouble. There you go. So they're all happy. Ha ha ha, because news is real. Anyway. Then what? Oh, my. This is where we learned that American troops participated in a joint raid against rebel positions in Acapulco. But then there's an advert for Nuke 'em. Get them before they get you. There we go. And this is where the Delta City is being given the green light. And this is where we're going to learn about, because they've got safety concerns in Old Detroit. And this is where we learn that Bob Morton has become a senior vice president or something at Security Concepts. He's talking about, you know, there's a new guy in town. His name's Robocop, and then we see he's going to the what they call it. He's got the card. He's got the gold card for the senior bathroom or whatever. Chukum. So they go in and he's talking all about Dick Jones being a has-been and all that. So everybody's leaving. Because they know Dick Jones is in there having a poo. And he gets up, he doesn't seem to wipe his bum. Why don't people wipe their bottoms in films? I don't know. But anyway. They're the toilet flushing. Dick Jones must have his own toilet flush that everybody recognises. So this fella goes, before he's shaken, and then Dick Jones comes out without wiping his bottom. Maybe it's a bidet. It's the future, isn't it? It's the future. It could be the 3 seashells for all we know. Anyway, so they have the confrontation, and he's saying, you know, he when he was a young executive, you know, he sometimes called the old man names. He even called him asshole once, but he knew there was always respect. He knew where the line was drawn, and Bob Morton's crossed that line. So he had a guaranteed military sale with Ed 209, spare parts for 25 years or whatever. Who cares if it worked or not? Bob Morton says the old man seemed to care. And he says, you know, he's a sweet old man, but he won't be around forever, and I'm number 2 around here. There you go. And then you just effed with the wrong guy. And he grabbed his hair. And says, you better hope that unholy monster of yours doesn't screw up. Blah, blah, blah. So he's now worried. Right, so, meanwhile, Robocop's fast asleep in his chair. They're all reading the papers. There we see Robocop there. And this is monitoring his brain, it seems. And obviously nothing much is happening. I imagine that's what my brain pattern would be like. You know, just nothing happening. Just static. That's my brain pattern. But then we start seeing stuff happening. What does it say anyway? Grass Model 6 electroencephalograph. Is that a real thing? No idea. But what's that? What's happening on his thingy? Something's winner's circle. Something rally. Don't know. Oh, he's there. Look, I've just noticed he's there. Robocop in his chair. Anyway, starts dreaming. We see his finger twitch in a minute. There you go. His finger twitches. So he's dreaming. And then we start seeing images appearing in this static. He was dreaming about being shot. There we go. We get an image of Clarence Bodicker. The last thing he saw. So he's having nightmares. And then he comes online just as he dies in his dream. He wakes up. I suppose is what you would do, wouldn't you? And he just gets up and walks out, and they can't stop him. He's Roosevelt. That's it. I was thinking she was Roosevelt, but I heard it, I couldn't remember her name. So he's just gone out to work, I suppose. And they're wondering what's going on, and they're calling Bob Martin. Lewis intercepts him. Says, what can I do for you, Officer Lewis? And she asks him, does he have a name? And she goes, Murphy, it's you. There you go, Murphy, it's you. And then he takes a step back as though he kind of remembers. But then he says, excuse me, somewhere there's a crime happening. There you go. So off he goes. And so Lewis is in bother, and he drives off. They can't stop him. So Bob Morton's angry now. It's some sort of glitch. He had a dream. So they're talking about shutting him down. And they say, they could shut him down for, is it 40 days or something, a 90, I can't remember. So we're not shutting him down for a dream. Then they talk to her, said, this officer saw fit to question him. She says, I didn't question him, I just asked his name. He said, doesn't have a name, he's a product, he's OCP. There you go, you want to take him offline because he had a dream. See, this project doesn't concern cops. Unbelievable. Anyway, so she apologises to the Sarge, there we go, but he says no. Forget it. Meanwhile, Emil is going on his bike to get gas from Jasper Carrot. He looks a bit like Jasper Carrot, this fella in him. A little bit, not a lot. Who's doing some, there we go, something technical. For college. Are you a college boy? So anyway. So he's going to, take all his money and that or shoot him. But then Robocop arrives when he's filling up his bike. Obviously, Robocop recognises him, I think. Or is it later? It might be later when he recognises him. But Emil recognises Robocop. They go, are you a college boy or something? Do you think you can outsmart a bullet? Anyway, we saw him, by the way, didn't we? I forgot his name already. Him that plays Emil, Paul, what's his face? Paul McCrane. We saw him in The Blob, didn't we? Saw him in The Blob a while ago when we did The Blob in Friday Night Appointment with Fear. Anyway, so Robocop arrives. There you go. He says to him, dead or alive, you're coming with me. And so I remember that bit from earlier. So he says, oh, we killed you. They go, I know you. We killed you. And he's recording it. So that makes him open his mouth a little bit in surprise. So anyway, so he shoots the hose and sets off. And it all blows up in a minute. There you go, it all catches fire. Ooh, and then Robocop, it all blows up. I hope that poor fella got out with his college work. But he shoots the motorbike, does Robocop, and makes Emil crash. And there we go. Doesn't have a good time in this film, does he, Emil? Anyway, Robocop gets him. Who are you? So He's taken him in, taken the meal in, and processed him. He's in jail now, apparently. So, Robocop's gone to the computer room that Cecil runs. Cecil looks nothing like the Cecil in the game. Cecil Vidor, his name, apparently. With all the tapes, because it's the future. With all the magnetic tape. I used to work in a place. Look around, I'll show you, actually. I can show you, if you're interested. Just let me find it. Hey. Show you where I used to work. Hang on. If I can spell, for crying out loud. Hey. Oh, for crying out loud. Where are you? I'm not a touch typist. Bear with me. Hope I've done the right... Oh, for God's sake. I better have typed it in wrong. Yes, I have, because I'm stupid. Try that. There we go. Right, this is where I work. Hang on. Not where I work now, where I used to work. Right, so let me remove this a minute. And... Oh, hang on. Let me get out of that. Ba-doom. Right. Speaking of magnetic tapes and stuff, this is where I used to. It's my first job. Straight out, not nearly straight out of school. Used to work at a place called CCS, Comprehensive Computer Services, and they had a Honeywell DPS 8 and later a DPS 8000 mainframe computer with all the tape drives and stuff, and all the disk drives. That's where, and the big printers. We used to print stuff like payrolls and other stuff. Mail, what they call it, junk mail and all that, essentially. But yes, that's what we used to do in there. Lots of monitors and bits, and that's when we went. All the gang went to Alton Towers. But anyway, so there we go. So that's where I used to work back in the 80s. Hey. Anyway, so there we go. Just thought I'd share that with you. Oop, hang on. Right, back to the film. Right, Robocop's gone into where I used to work. And he says, you can't enter here, wait a second. So Robocop, oh, for God's sake, gets his spiky thing out. In a minute, there we go, hang on. Bit dangerous, isn't it? Don't it have USB? You think you'd have a little USB connector that came out, wouldn't you? Just plug that in. Like in Red Dwarf, people kept losing DVDs and CDs, so they went back to VHS and compact cassette. I've just bought a VHS tape off eBay. I'll not tell you why. I'll tell you why another time. But I've just bought a VHS. Hey. It's for a reason. Anyway. Right, so that's what he uses to plug into computers. It's like what R2 uses in Star Wars, but this is more deadly. So he plugs it in, and now he's getting into the computer, and he's wanting Clarence Bodicker and known accomplices and all that. There we go. Oh, no, that's it. He uses his memory, doesn't he? So he finds out that that's a meal. And Clarence Bodicker's one of his accomplices. So what's he done? Felony rap, misdemeanor rap, and all that stuff. There you go. Clarence Bodicker. He's in charge. Suspected murder of loads of coppers. We learn it's like 30. I think like 31 police officers he's suspected of murdering. He's remembering, Murphy, it's you. Murphy, it's you. And then he brings up a picture of Murphy and his address that he used to live in. So he's going to go there now. So he's arrived there. I presume this is the bit that's filmed in California or whatever. So he goes in. His wife must have just sodded off. They'd moved away. Oh, pardon me. She must have moved away after he died. Because there's nobody in. Looks like the house is up for sale. But he must learn where she's moved to because he stalks her in Robocop 2. But anyway, so he's looking round the house and his memories come flooding back. There we go. He sees his kid watching TJ Laser, and then oh, there we go. It's where the posing for the photo. There we go, on Halloween, I presume. There we go. He starts remembering that. So all his memories are coming flooding back now as he screws up the photo, and then he sees his wife. There she goes. I've got something to tell you. I love you. She's going to say it. Go on. Go on. Say it. There we go. There she says it. So now he gets cross because he knows he's not Alex Murphy anymore, and he smashes the. I've just noticed this. The screen with the fella that's trying to sell the house. Robocop's just going to smash him in his face, and he looks surprised, doesn't he? Is that just a good pause? But make me an offer. And he smashes him, breaks the machine. Right, so he's off looking for Clarence Bodica's gang now, and he's going to find Leon, Ray Wise, in this nightclub. And he finds him and drags him out by the hair. Nobody gives a monkeys. They're probably all high on nuke. Had it been invented? I don't know. Then Bob Morton's now, he's getting high on more traditional drugs with a couple of young ladies. There we go. Because they're really clever, these ladies. He says smart is so sexy. Because one of them says, sometimes I'll just think of something. Wish I could. Anyway. But the doorbell rings, says it must be the champagne, but it's not. It's Clarence, and it's there we go, best line of the film. Oh dear. So they leave. He could have just killed them, couldn't he? Shows he's not all bad. Tells them to go. But he's just there to deliver a message and other things. By the way, he shoots him in the knees, so he can't run away. And then he puts a CD or a DVD in, or whatever, in the player there. In his entertainment system. It's not portable, is it? In his home entertainment system with his big tape-to-tape reels and stuff, because it's 2030. Made a comeback. Must be making a comeback like vinyl. Anyway, so there we go. There's Dick Jones, because he's got to have 3 screens. You know, why would he need 3 screens? 3, cathode ray tube screens in 2030. It doesn't matter. Screens that 2 there. Why don't you just have a big telly? Like we do. He's got to have multiple screens for some reason. And why has he got like an embroidery thing there? But people do embroidery. They're like them, don't they? Is he taking that up? Maybe he is. Don't know. Anyway, it's a message from Dick Jones saying, I'm going to kill you now, or Clarence is going to kill you because you went too far. There you go. You went over my head, so I've got to kill you. So he's going to leave. He leaves a hand grenade. He just leaves a hand grenade, pulls the pin out and walks out. There you go, there it is. It's a futuristic hand grenade with a digital display and a spring on the top of it. That must have been because he took out, he did have a pin, and the spring must be for that. I'm cashing you out, Bob. And then it all blows up like so. Bang, there we go. So that's the end of Bob Morton. Poor Miguel Ferrer. I think has passed away in real life, hasn't he? A few years ago, not that many years ago, but he's died in real life, hasn't he? Anyway, so right, we're at a drug production place. Doesn't look like Nuke, does it? Kane mustn't have invented it yet. So this is where we're learning that Clarence and his gang are meeting Sal, who must be, at the moment, is the top guy, of old Detroit, the top kingpin, I suppose. So they brought him loads of money because they want in on his territory. But they're all confrontational. And but they're going to get interrupted because Robocop arrives. There we go. He arrives, smashes the door in, and starts shooting people. See, this level, you know, I won't be doing well in the game. The spring is the spool, so the spools. Yes, I just said that. Yeah. Come quietly, or there will be trouble. So obviously they don't. So he starts shooting, and takes everybody out. And for some reason, he does a shot where he'd like, I don't want to knock the telly. He just shoots, so he like does that for some reason. Puts his arms out. Don't know why. But he's shooting away, killing people. I think, by the way, let's go back to him. Where is he? Can't find him. Come on, show us him. I bet I don't blood. There he is. That's Steve Min, by the way. We'd seen him briefly earlier on, but I think he gets shot here. I think in this scene. So he's taking out Sal's gang. He's basically doing Clarence Bodica's work for him. Spoon and not spool. Yeah, whatever. The pin part. Because it did spring off. We saw it. So he's shooting all them. And there seems to be, I think, the rest of Clarence's gang must have run off. There's only Clarence left. And he gets him. So he's basically beating him up before he arrests him. And there he is, all covered in blood. And this is where he spills his guts. I work for Dick Jones, the number 2 guy at OCP. Obviously, he's recording it all. And so he takes him in. Yes, I am a cop. And they're talking about striking. And there was a strike vote last night, so the cops are going on strike, and they're still on strike in Robocop 2, which takes place an unspecified amount of time after Robocop 1. But anyway. Yeah, Robocop's arrived with Clarence. Book him. What's the charge? He's a cop killer. And then he says, just give me my blinking phone call, he says. Yeah, says it there. After he spits blood, look. That's basically me after I brush my teeth. Because I'm British. Anyway, right, so what's happening now? Well, he's heading into... Oh, right, he's going to go arrest Dick Jones. He's heading to OCP. Obviously, Clarence is phoning Dick, and he says, lawyers will have you out in 24 hours. But anyway, so he arrives, does Robocop at OCP, goes up, and Dick Jones, you're under arrest. There you go, he's replaying, you know, the allegations from Clarence Bodica. There you go, you're under arrest. But then Directive 4 cuts in. So he says, you better take me in. But Dick Jones knows he can't. And product violation, look, Directive 4. And he's giving it, all that. Probably burping as well. There you go. Little insurance policy called Directive 4, which were his part of Robocop's psychological profile. He can't arrest any senior officer of OCP. It results in a shutdown. So he's obviously fighting it, is Murphy. But now we're going to meet... but what's his face? Ed 209. Not before... Well, right now. We meet Ed 209. He comes in. But then he confesses. There we go. I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. Now it's time to erase that mistake. There you go. So he just got time for him to record that before all hell breaks loose and starts fighting Ed 209. So he's shooting and all that and knocking Robocop through the windows. Here we go. Boink. He knocks it down. This is where we see his eye. Cool shot in the film where we see his eye. Ripped it off in The Last Jedi, didn't they, in the Star Wars film, The Last Jedi, with Phasma. We saw her eye as well, didn't we? Didn't have the same impact. Anyway, so, and now we cut to a stop-motion Robocop as he grabs Ed 209's gun and makes him shoot his other arm off. That's a stop-motion Robocop. Looks a bit dented, doesn't it? But, that's a little... a little model of Robocop. So anyway, he gets out, then starts firing rockets at Robocop. Dick's on the phone saying, "All hell's broken loose. Robocop's on the rampage." Lieutenant Hedgecock. He's the fella I think we saw at the town hall with Ron Miller and all that. I think that's Lieutenant Hedgecock. The tower's in trouble. So anyway, so Robocop gets down here. But luckily, Ed 209 can't handle stairs. There we go. Blinking. Struggles with stairs, look. And on this scene, actually, well, it's obvious, isn't it? They built a model of the stairs. They're actually real stairs, you know, in wherever they filmed it. I don't know if it's a studio, if it's on location, I don't know. But they were obviously real stairs. But they made a smaller version. They got all this, you know, they knew the dimensions. They built a smaller version, about 4 feet high, and just basically rolled a model of Ed 209 down it, as we'll see in a minute when he's ready. Here he goes. There you go. A model Ed 209. Just rolled it down the stairs. And then it's freaking out. It's freaking out. So he can't get up because, you know, it's rubbish and it gets stuck in manholes as well, as we see in Robocop 2. Anyway, he arrives in the parking garage and all the police are there. They've arrived quick now, haven't they? When OCP's in trouble. But they've got orders to take out Robocop because they think he's on the rampage. So they start shooting him. Other cops are saying, you know, no, he's a cop. They say, we've got my orders. So they all start shooting at him, apart from the good cops. And we notice he's covering his face up, so maybe his face is real. Anyway. So they're shooting. And he rolls out of the way down, because it's a parking garage. It must be multi-story, so he rolls onto one of the other levels. And Lewis is there, nearly runs him over. Look, he's covered in bullet holes. And she bundles him in the car. By the way, whenever you see Robocop driving a car, he couldn't actually sit in the car in his full suit. So he's just in the suit from his waist up. And then he's sat in his underpants. And I presume it's the other way around when he's getting out of a car. Because when we see him getting out, we just see his feet, or his lower legs. And so I presume it might not even be Peter Weller. It could just be somebody else getting out of a car. Anyway. So, she gets him away. Then we cut to a trailer. There we go. For the SUX, 6000 SUX. With some more stop motion work from... Phil Tippett. There's no Ray Harryhausen, is there, to be honest? Go motion. Pfft. I mean, yeah, his dragon in Dragon Slayer were good. Yeah, whatever. Right, top story, Santa Barbara. The orbiting, what was it, Star Wars peace platform misfired and burnt 10,000 acres of wooded residential land in Santa Barbara, killing 2 former presidents. A strategic defence peace platform. Oh, right. Anyway, so there we go. Then they're talking about the strike by the police. So this chap is going to interview people on the street, including this fella, because it's free society, but there's no guarantees. It's the law of the jungle. Anyway, right, Clarence Bodica's got out. He said he'd get him out, and he's out of jail. Gone to see Dick Jones. Sticks his gum on her nameplate. And then says, you can keep the gum. It's another cool line. Anyway, Dick Jones says, that thing is still alive. Take a look at my face, Dick. Hard to believe he'd become the president of the Federation, isn't it? But he does. And also a time-travelling maniac in Star Trek Voyager. Anyway, not really a maniac. Misguided. Anyway, so Dick Jones is telling Bodica that he's got to kill Robocop. It's where we're learning that his memory is admissible as evidence. So you're going to have to kill it. I'm not saying him, either. Got to kill it. he's not happy, saying your company built him. But then he's reminding Clarence that in 2 months they're going to start work on Delta City. That means 2 million workers living in trailers. That means drugs, gambling, prostitution. There you go. Virgin territory for the man who knows how to open up new markets. So he says, all right, we're going to be friends after all, Richard. So he gives him the tracking thing so they know where Robocop is. He was also in Lower Decks as an alien. Well, his voice. So, right. So, access to military weaponry. It says, we practically are the military. So, where he gets his big guns. I'm sure Sci-Fi Quest knows what sort of guns they are. Right. So, pardon me. Lewis arrives back here. They're in the steel mill. Well, we saw earlier. Why would he want to go back there? It's where he died, isn't it? But it's supposed to be the same place. Or is it just a similar one? No idea. But we revisit the area where Murphy died in the game. Anyway, that's by the by. Right, we're learning that just about all the police are on strike. Murphy's fixing his leg. She bought him some baby food and a screwdriver thing. There we go. So he's going to take his helmet off now. And unfortunately, we see him without his helmet for the rest of the film. Gone all Stallone. Anyway, right, so he takes the screws out and then, and then lifts his helmet off, which somehow gets rid of this bit as well. Are you ready? Takes his helmet off. There you go, it's still there, look. And then he lifts off his helmet. And there you go. Now his black thing on his chin's disappeared and everything around it as well. Look totally different. But anyway. So there he is. That's Murphy. So, oh, there you go. After the funeral, he's asking about his wife and son. She moved away and obviously finds out where because he stalks her in the second film. He says, I can still feel him, but I can't remember him. Blah, blah, blah. Right, then we cut to Emil, who's watching this show, which I've forgotten what it's called. Here we go. Told you you'd know. Cobra assault cannon, based on the Barrett M82A1 anti-materiel rifle. You know far too much about weapons. You're like me mate. I've got a mate, Simon. He'd know that as well. He would. He would. Anyway, he's trying to watch this show, but all hell's breaking loose because the cops are on strike, remember? So everybody's smashing all the shop windows, you know, much as actually would happen, you know, in real life. So he can't hear a thing, so he just smashes the window and turns up the volume. And I think this is where she says, Dave. Happy birthday, Dave. Hang on. Come on. There you go. Woman on TV, happy birthday, Dave. She's from me, but we'll learn he's Bixby Snyder. Because I think they said Bixby earlier on in the film, didn't they? So, is he Dave Bixby? Or is he Bixby Snyder? Don't know. Anyway, so he's laughing at that because everybody thinks it's funny. There we go. Then Clarence arrives in his 6000 SUX. He said, you know, they'd let me out of jail, you know, whatever. He just walked out or whatever. Then Joe arrives in his new 6000 SUX, still got the factory sticker on it. He's very proud of it. And there you are. And then Clarence shows he's got a new gun. There you go. And he blows up Joe's car. Ha ha ha. Joe's not very happy. So they're all laughing. So Emil wants a go of it. So he blows up the shop and then says, I like it. Then Joe wants a go, and he blows up a fire hydrant. Ting! Anyway, so they've got a couple of those. They're just having fun with them, blowing stuff up. My favourite sci-fi gun is the M41A2 pulse rifle from Aliens. With its over and under rocket launchers or whatever, grenade launchers, I don't bloody know. Right, so he's at the steel mill, so they're going. Emil's off in the van, they're off in the remaining 6000 SUX. Meanwhile, Lewis is trying to get some sleep. So Murphy decides to try testing his targeting. He gets the baby food and just starts shooting and wakes her up. Obviously didn't think about, disturbing her sleep, did he? But it turns out his aiming's like my aiming. He can't hit a side of a barn door. And so she aims for him and sorts it out. There you go, you're locked in now. And he shoots the baby food, but then the baddies arrive. So the split up. She gets in the car, and he's doing his stuff. There you go, get the car. So they're looking for him now. Murphy throws a piece of metal. I think it was the thing he saw his reflection in, isn't it? He throws that. So they start shooting in that direction, because that's what bad guys do. Looking for me. So they start shooting him up there. He shoots Joe, by the way. There you go. Joe goes down. He doesn't die instantly. We see him writhing on the floor for a while. But they all split up and go after him. Clarence in his car. Leon in the van. Here we go. Oh, look. Toxic waste down there. But Clarence spins the van round. There we go. And... heads for Robo. Robo has a quick shot. Must be bulletproof glass, that, because he shoots right at him. Look, ducks. But Robocop moves surprisingly quickly here. Are you ready? Look, whoop, whoop, almost running. But anyway, Emil ends up in the toxic waste, and out he comes out the back, or the stuntman does. The stuntman does, with extra hair. Are you ready? There we go. And he's all melty now. More cool makeup effects from Rob Bottin. Still more handsome than me. Hey. What is everyone's favourite gun, and why is it the ZF one? Sorry, not ZF one. Whatever. From The Fifth Element. The Zorg gun. It's a bit ungainly though, isn't it? But anyway. Right, where were we? It's the start, next generation phaser. That's my favourite gun. 16 settings that thing's got. Anyway, she's chasing down Clarence. Is Lewis? Meanwhile, there we go. Leon arrives and gets accosted by Emil. Ah! And his scream, it seems genuine. I wonder if he didn't know what they were going to be doing with Paul McCain. Is that right? Have I got that right? Makeup-wise, because he does look genuinely disgusted, doesn't he? Maybe he's just a really good actor. Ah! Get away from me, man. Help me. Had a bad reaction to something, hasn't it? Don't touch me, man. So he goes staggering off, does Emil. Meanwhile, Lewis is chasing his 6000 XUX. What's this? Is it a rocket car? Have they got a thing from the Batmobile or something? There's flames come out of that. Be cool if it did. Anyway, here comes Emil. Oh no, he's going to get hit by this car. Hang on, I've missed it. Here he comes. Oh, I don't think that's Paul McCain, is it? Never mind. And oh, crikey, exclaiming, my goodness. There we go. Poor old Emil gets squished, turns to goo, and then he crashes his car, as we see. There we go. Hey! So Lewis gets out, but then he shoots her. Bang, bang. Bye-bye, baby. So he shoots Lewis. He rolls down into this, wherever they are. So Murphy's arrived. But there's a big crane thing that we see in the game, or a similar thing, with loads of metal in it, as we see in a minute. Is it going to show it? It's all the spitting in it. You can tell he's a baddie. He's always spitting, dirty bugger. There you go. Leon is there, running into this control booth. So he says, I give up. He says, I'm not going to arrest you anymore. He says, now wait a second. So he's just going to kill him. He's taking it kind of personal. But Leon's in charge of this big scoop thing that's got all the metal bits in. And they're going to show it. There, die. Oh, see, he's gone too far. Look, there we go. He looks up just to see all this stuff land on him. Doink. Die, you jolly chap. But then Lewis, they're all saying, all right, yeah, got him, Clarence. So Lewis blows him up with the Cobra assault thingamabob. There he goes, boom. So that's the end of Leon. Anyway, so there's just Clarence left now. So Clarence has got to deal with Robocop. So he picks up this big metal spike and stabs Robocop. I think he hits him a few times. He hit it? There we go. He hits him a few times. Then stabs him with it. There we go. And he says the immortal words, sayonara, Robocop. And for ages, when I first saw this on VHS, I always thought he was saying, so you're not a Robocop. I always thought he said that. Until I learned he says sayonara, which is obviously Japanese for sayonara. Right, anyway. The Force Lance is a god weapon. I don't know what you're talking about. There, Wind Grace. My favourite cyber weapon is the Force Lance from Andromeda. Very underrated. I never used to watch Andromeda. Never used to watch it. ZF-1 is like the Annihilator 2, the Predator Cop 3, uglier thingamabob. Force Lance, a god weapon. Bad guys spitting replaced the black hat. Yes, it did. There we go. So he stabs him. So it hurts him. So does it genuinely hurt him, or does he have sensors that, sense injuries? The data could be called pain. Is it that sort of thing? Don't know. But Murphy's screaming. Oh, there you go. Sayonara, Robocop. So you're not a Robocop. Technically, he isn't a robot. He's a cyborg. Yeah, he is. Well, his brain and his eyes and his face and whatever digests the baby food is the organic part, isn't it? So anyway, he gets his data input-output spike and stabs Clarence in the neck. I pressed the wrong button. Hang on, where are we? There we go. Stabs Clarence in the neck. Blood squirts out. Oh, then we cut to this, because this is the extended version. They mustn't have had a good... a good version of this. It was all grainy and horrible look. As blood squirting out of his neck. Then it cuts to, something more reasonable looking. As more blood squirting out of his neck. Anyway, Force Lance is a good way to don't know, because I've never used to watch Andromeda. I know of it, but I never used to watch it. So that's the end of Clarence. So there we go, they've won. So it says Lewis, he says, Murphy, I'm a mess. It says, me. They'll fix it. Or they'll fix you. They fix everything. There you go. So I was thinking, are they going to make a robo girly cop? Robocop girl for Robocop 2. But no, they didn't. They just patched her up. Anyway, Murphy gets out from underneath all these girders. There we go. See, now he does all the... Because he's got no helmet on, he does all the motions now, doesn't he? Does all that. Didn't do that before. When he were being knocked about by Ed 209 and his helmet on. But never mind. Right, they're at OCP. And we learned that Dick Jones has got an Ed 209 guarding downstairs. And they're saying that and the strike could swing public opinion in OCP's direction because, whatever. Because of the chaos that's on the streets and all that. But Robocop arrives. They go and the Ed 209 says, you are illegally parked on private property. And Robocop obviously got Clarence's Cobra gun. And there you go. And shoots him, blows it up, and shoots it a second time for good measure. And there we go. And there we see the results of that. This was actually an extra little scene that they added. I don't know how late, but Phil Tippett was saying he got a phone call saying we want a little extra bit here where it shoots, an Ed 209 and blows it up and all that. what can you do? So they decided they'd blow it up, blow its top part off, and they stuck a little fan on the top. And so you see that spinning there, and they had it fall over and do its little bit with its flipper. A little comedy moment as it goes. There we go. There we go. Bit of character work for Ed 209. Yes, it's coming. I also like Winona from Farscape, but it isn't a particularly unique weapon. I didn't watch Farscape either. I could never get into Farscape. Tried watching it, can never get into it. And Ronan's gun is, I don't know. It's just like a regular gun, innit, but with a red light on it. It's not very imaginative, is it? Anyway, he's waffling away, and then Murphy comes in. There you go. So Dick Jones is under arrest, but he can't arrest him because his programming won't allow him to act against an officer of this company. So he says that, he's wanted for murder, by the way. So he shows his evidence, plays it back. We had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. It's time to erase that mistake. So he gets the gun from earlier on that's still there, that poor Mr. Kinney had. And so it's obviously loaded. So he grabs the old man and says, I'm going to go to the roof and I will board the chopper with my hostage. Anybody tries to stop me, the old geezer gets it. This is where he says, Dick, you're fired. And Robocop says, hang on, Dick, you're fired. And he says, thank you. And he gets out of the way, does the old man, and he shoots him, and he does his long arms. Here we go, his long arms. But apparently, I don't know, they do look, they are wrong, aren't they? I don't know, there's something going on in there. The proportion's not right. I saw a YouTube video where they said it would explain that they didn't have, because they didn't have room to film it, because it's obviously stop motion, isn't it? They have a lot of room to film it going down, so it's at a funny angle and all that. I don't know, but it doesn't look right, does it? There's something weird going on. It's just a puppet anyway. It's not bloody. Looks nothing like him, does it? It's nothing like Ronnie Cox. But anyway, down he goes. Ah! And then Johnson goes like that, and sticks his thumb up to Johnson, because somebody's just been killed. They'll all be shocked. I suppose after seeing what happened to Kinney, anything goes, I suppose, for them, doesn't it? Anyway, the old man straightens his tie. Nice shooting, son. What's your name? And it's not Robocop. And he says, Murphy. There we go. And smiles and walks off. And then the film ends. Robocop, directed by Paul Verhoeven and written by them and directed by John Davidson. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. An amazing film. This is one of those films that's near enough perfect, isn't it? I know I joke about stuff, but it's a perfectly structured film, isn't it? It's super entertaining from beginning to end. Still on about guns. Mal's guns from Firefly is cool. TNG phaser. Enough said. And here's the scene. He proves he's a creature from the 60th anniversary of Who. Yes, he does. Going to be forgotten by the start of 2. What, his name? Oh, well, I still call him Murphy, don't they, in 2? Anyway. So, yeah, it's perfect film. One of those perfect. That with Ghostbusters and all that. Perfectly structured film. Entertaining from beginning to end. It's great. It's a great film, and everybody's seen it. If you haven't seen it, where have you been? Followed on by Robocop 2, which I think's a great film as well. It's not quite as good as the first one. Directed by, what's his face? Oh, my brain's bloody blanking. Brain fog. Erwin Kershner. Directed by him, Empire Strikes Back. The Eyes of Laura Mars, that Erwin Kershner. Directed by him, and Peter Weller returns as Murphy in that, and Nancy Allen returns as well. But we get a new bad guy. in the form of Kane, who ends up becoming Robocop 2. The real baddie in the film is Dr. I forgot her name. Never mind. Dr. Lash, something like that, isn't it? She's the real baddie in it. Anyway, that's great. And then we had Robocop 3, which wasn't very good. He had some good moments in it, and Nancy Allen wanted to get killed, so they killed her. Not great. Directed by Fred Decker, as I said, who would go on to do producing work on Star Trek Enterprise. He had previously directed The Monster Squad. But anyway. Did Robocop 3 come after the series? I can't remember. I have no idea. Then they did the Prime Directives mini-series, didn't they? Which I've got on DVD over there somewhere. I've only watched it through once. By the way, it was a different fella. Peter Weller was just in Robocop 1 and 2. Don't ask me the names of the others. A different chap in Robocop 3, and then another different chap in Prime Directives. And I don't know who played him in the series. There was a short-lived series, wasn't there? Or was that what Prime Directives came from? I can't remember. But there was that. And there was a cartoon as well, wasn't there? There was a cartoon as well, but I've never seen that. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. So, there you go. I don't think I'll be doing any more Robocop films. She came back for the series, I believe. Who did? Nancy Allen? She was dead. She was killed in Robocop. She might have done. Maybe, is that why you're asking? Maybe she did. I don't know. Let's have see what it says. What does it say? Let's have a look at Nancy Allen. Where is she? See what it says about her. See if she did appear in Robocop. I'm just checking on IMDb. Right. Going down to the 80s. Robocop, Anne Lewis. Robocop 2, Anne Lewis. Robocop 3, Officer Anne Lewis. And then it doesn't mention the Robocop series. No, it doesn't. Doesn't mention the Robocop series. That's if you were on about her. The cartoon, one of the worst Christmas episodes ever. That's actually great. Right, okay. Because I never saw the cartoon. Don't even know if it showed, if it played over here. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I'll remove that. Right. As I said, it's one of those special films, is Robocop. Perfect film, pretty much. So, there you go. We'll leave it there. So, what's coming up? What day are we on? Monday. We've got Wednesday, we've got my news. Friday, Appointment with Fear. We're doing Virus, Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Sutherland and one of the Baldwins, William Baldwin, in there. Fun film. And then next Monday, hang on, have I put it? Here we go. Found it. Just bear with me. Next Monday, we're doing the first Tomb Raider film with Angelina Jolie. No, I'm not doing a double feature. Blu-ray arrived today. Yeah. With the first two films, not the Alicia Vikander one. So that's next Monday. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Wingrace. Thanks, Sci-Fi Quest. Thanks, Josh Temple. And thanks, Castellar Daniel Garcia. Love saying that. Who else did we have in? Oh, Scottish Geek Guy. Jimmy also popped in. Thank you for stopping by. And thanks to everybody who's watched and not commented, if any. Oh, Archmage Frey. Don't forget about Archmage Frey. He's been watching on Twitch. Oh, dear. Right. So, no triple feature, no double feature, and no triple feature, for God's sake. Hey. Great as I'll see you Wednesday. I should see you tomorrow, should I? Is it tomorrow? Hang on, let me check. You've got a live stream coming up, haven't you? Let me check. You've set them up anyway. Let me just see. Sci-Fi Quest. Go and subscribe to Sci-Fi Quest, by the way. Yes, Tuesday Hangout, Thursday Hangout, Saturday Hangout. All my days off for some reason. Is Sci-Fi Quest's upcoming live stream. So subscribe and join Sci-Fi Quest and others as we. I don't know what you've got planned. Also subscribe to Wingrace and Scottish Geek Guy. Because they've got great stuff. Scottish Geek Guy's just done a video of his unboxing of his Avatar 4K disc. He likes his unboxings. Just Scottish Geek Guy. Right, we'll leave it there. So, cracking jiggers. So, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say this.